it looks like we had two other people, that Rebecca Johnson and ANNSM. They are trying to get audio going, it looks like.
There we go. It looks like ANSM.
Okay. Is it Ann?
Yes.
Hi, Ann. I'm Jay Brown. Thank you for joining us. All we see right now is your initials, ANNSM. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Ann Branch with 421 Northwest 13th Street and 425 Northwest 13th Street.
Okay, Ann. And I think we also have Rebecca Johnson. She is participating. I don't see her audio or video on right now. Rebecca, if you feel like introducing yourself, please do.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Johnson. I'm just a realtor, getting some information.
Okay. Well, thank you both for joining us. The meeting was scheduled to start at 6. It is 6. We'll try to keep an eye on if anybody else joins. The other folks that you might see on here are members of our company. My name is Jay Brown, and we're Jay Brown Professional Group, and we're a civil engineering and surveying company here in Gainesville. And we're working for CNC Properties, and we're the ones that are putting on this presentation today. So sitting with me, I don't know if you're seeing the video, but I'm Jay in purple shirt, and Roy Tyson is here with me.
Yes, I'm Roy Tyson. I'll be working a lot of the design as well with Jay for this project.
And then we have a couple of other folks, Michael and Robert from our company, that are also working on the project or participated in this. So I guess we're going to go ahead and get started. So I'm going to share the screen and have our presentation come up. So we'll do this right here, and hopefully we can get this presentation
Yeah, they get that
going.
minimized, yeah.
Yeah.
They hit that left one right there.
Okay, so let's see what we've got right.
Yeah, you were on the right there.
There it is. Okay, William Bowers, we've got somebody else that's popping in. William, if you can hear us, just as soon as you feel like your audio is going, introduce yourself, and we'll get this presentation started here as soon as we hear from you. Let's see.
You can click that one right there. You can click that one.
Will he join us or not?
Hit the arrow over that one right there. I think that will show. Oh yeah, William.
There he is. Hi, William. I see that your audio is not on right now, but if you do want to get your audio on and introduce yourself, that's fine. But we're going to go ahead and get started with the presentation. Feel free to interrupt me at any time if you want to, anybody. So what we're here to talk about is a project that we're affectionately calling the Northwest 5th Avenue Apartments right now. It hasn't been designated with a new fancy name yet. I'm sure we'll get one sometime in the near future. This background picture shows a little shot from Northwest 5th Avenue, which would be the front and the primary frontage of this project.
It should work. Click on the screen. Click on it. And now click on it. There we go.
There we go. Okay, so what we're going to cover today is we're going to tell you a little bit about our team, and we're going to talk to you about where the project is located to make sure everybody understands. We'll kind of go over some of the zoning and land use, and we'll show you the existing conditions and kind of go over our proposed site plan and talk to you about what our project's going to consist of, and then our next step as we move forward. And again, like I mentioned, please feel free to interrupt if you have any questions as we're going through things. So our development team consists of the owner of the project, and it's CNC Properties and Investments. And they're a local company in town that's done a lot of development projects, single family, multifamily. They've worked in Gainesville, Alachua County, High Springs, Alachua. So we've been working with them for quite a few years, and they do a great job with their projects, take a lot of pride in their projects. And this is one that the plan is for them to develop the property and then own it and manage it and continue to move forward in that way. So as I introduced earlier, we're the civil engineers and the surveyors on the project, J. Brown Professional Group. I'm Jay Brown, and I've got Roy Tyson here with me. The architect on the project that's doing the buildings themselves, the design of the buildings, is a longtime Gainesville architect, a man by the name of Don Yansky. So this is our project site. It's unique in the sense that, you know, in the College Park area, it's hard to put together and assemble a complete city block, but that's what this project is. So it runs 5th Avenue in the south, 6th Avenue in the north, and it's bounded by 13th Terrace on the east and 14th Terrace on the west. And you may have seen the Gate Store, the redevelopment of the Gate Store, which has just recently occurred directly to our east. So that's been a welcome new addition to the neighborhood. So this is, again, our site, and the project zoning is U5, and that's one of the newer context zoning categories of the city of Gainesville. And you can see that there's U6 and U5 and U8 and U2 all around. And so the U5 is an urban designation that is suitable for multifamily development like we're proposing. And each project in each property in the city of Gainesville has a land use and a zoning. So our zoning was U5, and that's compatible with this type of land use, which is similar to this one right here, which is a mixed use residential. Allows up to 75 units per acre. Now, and you'll see in a minute, we're not proposing 75 units on this property. We're proposing much less density than that. We're proposing 28 units on the project. So, and the site is right about 1 acre. So we have almost exactly 28 units per acre. Okay. So this is just kind of a ballpark showing some of the existing features. This is a copy of our survey that shows the existing buildings on the site. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 existing buildings. I believe there's 15 units. Yes, 15 units. And it's actually comprised of several tax parcels. But these buildings were built anywhere from the 20s to the 50s, I believe. And frankly, some of them are in, you know, pretty good state of disrepair, but the plan is to remove all of these buildings and to construct a new project. So you can see some of the buildings here. There is a kind of an older house with some chert limestone on the outside here. There is the potential that that could actually get moved, but the remaining the remaining buildings and structures on the site will be demolished. So this is a plan of our proposed site plan that we have here. And so this would be the Gate Store to the east and with 5th Avenue along the south. And we're proposing to front 5th Avenue, 14th Terrace, and 6th Avenue with duplex units. And so these units will front the road, which is consistent with the city's land development regulations that want building frontage on the road with parking behind and in the rear. So that's the concept that we've developed here. Since it's unique in the sense that it's bound on all 4 sides by a roadway, we have to have some place to get public access. So the vehicular access, and our denoted as our side entrance here, is from the east on 13th Terrace. So we would have a area in the back here. All these units are proposed, if you can tell these buildings, they're about 28 by 46 in size, which is just over 1,000 square feet of footprint. And, but there's 2 units in each one of these. So what these little drives represent is there are garages in each of these units, and we'll show you some floor plans and give you a taste of what we're proposing to do in a few minutes. But there are 14 buildings here, and they are each duplexes, so there's 28 units. As I mentioned, the vehicular access is on 13th Terrace. And one of the things that the city regulations require based on that U5 zoning that I showed you earlier is that it has a designated building setback. So our setbacks are required to be between 15 and 20 feet from the edge of pavement or the back of curb. Now, Fifth Avenue is the only one that has curbs. So in this case, you would measure 15 to 20 feet from the curb line here. And on the other 3 streets, you would measure 15 to 20 feet from the existing edge of pavement. So the only structure that we show with a driveway connection from the main roads is this building over here, which is kind of doesn't have access to the inner parking drive area. So it would have a separate drive in the back, a separate individual driveway that would lead to the 2 garages. But all the other units have the garages in the rear in this common driveway area. So the majority of our parking is being provided in garages in each one of these units. There, as you can tell, the units are a little bit longer in this direction. And so when you pull into the garage, there's actually room for 2 parking spaces inside the garage. So the thought is that it would be kind of a tandem parking situation, both inside the garage, and also you would have room potentially for an extra vehicle to be outside of the garage as well. We will be constructing sidewalks along the frontage of all of our streets. That is another city requirement. It's designated that we have to have a landscape zone between the edge of pavement and the sidewalk, and then another zone between the sidewalk and the building. But each one of our buildings will have front doors facing these sidewalks. So your main primary access to each building in all these cases will be off these sidewalks along the street frontage. So essentially you have the nice front of your building with the walk-ups along the frontage, and then the rear of the units in the back will be where we have the garages. And this will have underground stormwater retention underneath this parking area that'll take care of the additional stormwater needs for the project. And then this is an idea. We talked a little bit about the buildings on that site plan. And just to kind of show you, it's a 3-level building. So on the first level and the ground level, if you were in the parking driveway area, you would walk in, there would be a door along there, and also these would be the garages of the 2 units. So there would be a demising wall along the center separating the 2 units. And this is what I was kind of referring to as far as a long area here along the ground floor where you could have tandem parking in here. There would also be the stairwell that you would access from inside the garage, air handling units. This would be a great place for for a student ping pong table and anything else that they like to do with ping pong balls. But and then on the first level, once you get up the stairs, you would enter the main level of the unit. You'd have your living and dining areas, an office / bedroom on the first level, and then 2 more bedrooms on the upper level. And again, this is a typical unit. The unit designs are not 100% finalized, but we do know that they're going to be 3 stories, and this is generally the design concept for them. Dimensionally, they could change slightly and have some adjustments and those type of things. These are shown with balconies on the first level and a front porch on the ground level. And this is the street level with the garage and also the street. And then once you go up, you have your units up here with balconies, and then you go up to the bedrooms and they have balconies also. Then when you look at this from an elevation standpoint, you can kind of start to picture that. So this would be the front from the street. You'd have your doorways for each one of the units. This would be a front porch overhang. So you could have some porch furniture or something up here, chairs, a little couch or whatever here, and the doors would be on the side to leave the most area available for use in the front porch. These would be you'd have, sliding doors or something that would lead out onto the balconies for the second and third floors. And here you can see the front porch with the overhang for the doorways and then the balcony level on the second and third floor. This is another elevation of the other side, which would be very similar. And then in the rear, where you would enter for the garage parking, and there would be a door into the garage. So you'd have a pedestrian door and a garage door to enter the units from the back. So at that point, I'll take a pause just in case anybody has any questions. Not necessarily, so I'll just head on then. So I just kind of wanted to talk about our project focus. I mean, obviously, the goal of most any developer is to create great development, and that's no difference for CNC Properties. We really feel like this will contribute to the neighborhood. The existing structures on that site are a little run down, and we think this is really going to create some vitality with the 3 stories and brand new units and a lot more.
Sidewalk.
Yeah, the sidewalks, the street, and of course, we'll be including landscaping, utility improvements, lighting, all those type of things. So the end goal is to provide a quality design and not only increase this property value, but of the whole surrounding neighborhood. And what are our next steps? So after this neighborhood workshop, we're going to continue working on this plan, finalizing it, getting it to the point where it can be submitted to the city. The city has just changed their name from the Department of Doing to the Department of Sustainable Development.
That's what it was, yeah.
I believe.
I was trying to look at that. They don't have updated on their
No,
website yet.
they haven't updated on the website yet. But anyway, we're in May, so by sometime in early June, we should be ready to submit our application to the city. They'll review it. It'll go through an iterative review process. June, July, August, that type of thing. We'll address their comments. And ultimately, we would hope to gain approval from the city, Gainesville Regional Utilities, the Water Management District, for all the utilities and stormwater infrastructure and all the city regulations by October, and be able to begin construction later this year, as soon as possible, is our program. If we could accomplish it, by September, we would, but this is generally where we think the schedule is going to fall out at this point. So with that being said, that's kind of what we had for you this evening. And if anybody has any questions or would like to see anything or look at the site plan more or ask any questions, please feel free
to give them their contact information too if they'd like to
receive
updates.
Yeah, if anybody would like to give us an email address or something, and we'd be happy to answer any email updates, or if anything happens, if you'd like to get a copy of the plan, we could send it to you as well. I don't know if anybody's having trouble with audio either. I'm going to go ahead and stop the share for now, and we'll go back to this video. I see William is still on, Anna's still on, Rebecca's still on, Michael and Robert are still on. I hope this was helpful for you guys. If there's also a chat feature, if for some reason anybody is having problems with their audio, if you want to send a chat, then feel free and we'll see that. But if you go down to the bottom of your screen, you can see the chat function and you can click on that and then you can type a message. I just want to make sure that you guys are seeing everything you need to see. And if you have any questions, that we're here to answer them.
Here goes William.
William signed off, okay. Ann and Rebecca, I hope we've presented enough for you guys to see what we're doing, and if there's anything else we can help you with, we'll be happy to.
Hey Jay, it's Rebecca. Great presentation, no
Thank you.
questions. It looks like a fabulous project.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Is Ann there too? Did Ann have something to say?
This is Ann. Thank you. Yes, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you just fine.
Okay, thank you for the presentation, and I'm going to sign off now.
Okay, thank
Thank
you,
you.
Ann. We're glad you participated.
Okay.
Is everything good with you, Rebecca?
Yeah. Yep. All right. That was an easy one.
Yep, so Rebecca signed off.